This is not how you take a windshield out of a classic car. This is me tired and just not caring, and this glass is bad. So I weigh 180 pounds and I never skip leg day. This is why you don't skip leg day. This is slightly cross-threaded. Today, we're doing more on Redball. Hopefully get the windshield out, hopefully get this fender off, cut that door open so I can get at the inside from the other side, and just deal with a bit more trim and get it ready for Buddy to come get the engine, because I sold that 327. The trim comes off really easy. Probably shouldn't. Oh, the sun's right in the camera. That's wonderful. So the first thing we're going to do today is get that door open, and I'm going to do it the same way as the other side. I'm just going to cut the handle out, then cut all the mechanism apart. I don't care. I have 2 extra doors, which are in way better shape than those, and they've got power windows in them. I'm going to save as much as I can, but I don't really have many options, because not being able to get in that side of the car is really holding me up. Get ready to be mad. You can see the problem there. Everything's seized, everything's stuck. So I'm going to cut out what I can, and hopefully it'll unlatch, and then I can pop the door off, and then I can get that fender off. Not really an overly precise way of doing this. It's basically just cut it until the door opens. When working on this stuff, you should have a selection of pry bars, especially when everything's seized. It's very seized. Oh! Oh! At this point, I have extra strikers. I don't really care what I cut. I broke my pry bar. What you pay for with grinding discs. Those are cheap Mastercraft ones, and I'm not happy with them. They don't last, they just go to pieces. It's almost out. Almost. There we are, door's open. It's got a spider up my nose. That was great. This is the first time this door's been open in I don't know how many years. Now I can get that fender off. This door's going in the garbage. Oh, harvest what I can off it, but then it's going. This is just toast. Door jam's not bad, surprisingly. So now I can pull this fender off. The big hurdle was getting the door open so I can get at the half-inch bolt inside the door on the cow pillar. This I will cut off. I'll cut the 2 bolts off, holding it on here in a little bit, because I do not have this piece on the blue car. And regardless if I'm going to modify it or not, when I do the body swap, I do need this. So I'm going to grab my tools and then I'll get the fender off. I don't know what idiotic lummox worked on this back in like the 70s or 80s, but you should never be allowed to touch a tool again. Just the fixes on this are horrible. The whole car is bent a little bit, so everything's shifted. So that bolt's going to be really fun to get off. Oh, it attaches there. The other side didn't do that. Those discs don't last at all. Yep, pretty rotten. I gotta save that part of the cow. That's not a big deal. She's a little more ripe for the cow than the blue one was. Side structure's not as bad as the other side, but I still don't. It's beyond restoring to stock. You got to do something else with this. Anyone using this as an instructional video to take a Rambler or a Marlin apart, kind of the same thing, don't. This is not how you do it. This is taking a piece of crap apart that most of it is getting thrown away because it's unsavable. This is not how you take a windshield out of a classic car. This is me tired and just not caring, and this glass is bad. So I weigh 180 pounds and I never skip leg day. This is why you don't skip leg day. It's gonna make taking the dash out so much easier. Only thing really in my way now are the hinges. I get those off, I can pretty much just cut the cow. Buddy can come get the motor, or the rear end's not attached to the car anymore. I'll just lift the body off with the forklift. Tomorrow I'm going to drag the weld road here. Hopefully it's a little bit drier. Right now the back lot's a soup. And I'll put a brace. I'll put a brace in between there and there so nothing moves. But right now I'm just getting rid of all the crap. Get rid of the hinges so I can just give it a cut. Probably not the intended way to take those off. But we're going to reuse Ring Brothers CUDA hinges. I'm guessing one of the major problems with these cars is they rotted at the cowl. Seeing as how bad it is. Because the other one was pretty bad too, where it snapped in half. I think I'm just gonna probably save what I can and remake the rest of this. I'll wheel out the corners on the English wheel. I'll do all that at some point. I don't understand how this trim goes in. Anyone knows how that like windshield trim works? Is it the same as a Charger? Where you got to put it in as you put the windshield in? Or does it go in afterwards? Does it rope in? I can't really find 100% of an answer for that. And I can't find reproduction trim. And that's my last good trim. And I want to keep that. Maybe. I am playing around with the idea of going flush glass. Which would look really cool if I could pull it off. Which is why I'm saving my bad windshield. So I can use that as a template if I do the flush glass. That's why I'm glad I have 3 back windows now. I can use those all as templates. There's a cowl tag here with 2 little spot welds. I'm going to drill those out at some point, and I will attach that to the new chassis on the 300. I'll just TIG weld them back in so it looks original. Keeping little stuff like that makes a big difference. Now, one of the most unpleasant things before I can really start bracing it up, I got to pull this dash, which is probably just going to be as nasty as the other dash in the blue car. At least I know what I'm doing now, and it's way easier without the windshield in it. The dash is going all leather, so I don't really care what breaks on this. Believe it or not, it doesn't look like much, but this is going to be a fairly high dollar build. Like, I'm not opposed to spending $80,000 to $100,000 building this car for myself. Not a humble brag or anything, it's just realistically what it costs to build some cars at a certain level. I could find a used 5 Hemi swap and save myself some money. I could, you know, just give it a quick paint job and not use premium host of color and all that stuff, but I kind of think this car deserves something better. I kind of think you should take on a build and not just do some cheesy mods or some wild stuff for attention and clicks and all that and never finish anything. This car might take me 2 or 3 years to finish depending on finances, what else I got on the go. I got 3 other cars I'm trying to build. Truck for my grandfather before he passes on, so you know, I got stuff on the go. This car is not my top priority. If it takes me 3 years on and off doing it while I'm waiting for parts and saving up money to do stuff, that's just the reality of building cars. We do this for passion. We don't, well, at least I don't do this for clicks and likes, and I couldn't care less if you like my video or subscribe or whatever. I'm thankful for the people that do. I'm thankful for the comments. I'm thankful to talk to people with AMCs, and overall the community's been great. But we're not doing this for YouTube fame. I'm doing this because there's a lot of channels that are just all about the money and all about the bullshit. That's not what I'm about. This has vacuum operated wipers. I can't remember if the blue one was electric or vacuum. Probably doesn't really matter. I'm probably going to end up calling Rain Gear, sending them some dimensions, and seeing what we can do for a kit. We use Rain Gear in all our customer builds, So it's one of our preferred brands, and they make a very nice product. I have a very stuck screw. Oh, there it goes. Yay! Maybe you stop fighting me. Maybe we'll be friends now. You're not gonna like what I do when I'm inside you. Oh, that's delightfully gross. Alright. Not a single upper dash screw attached. Makes me curious and worried. Also, I think this is captive trim, that chrome. I don't like that. Now I'm greasy. There's not much holding you in. Why? Why are all the dash bolts out? Whole upper dash is loose now. Suspicious. Well, I got to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. It's very muddy. I don't feel like dragging the welder out through 600 or so feet of mud to get back here. Maybe not that far, but it's at least 400 feet or so. Regardless, I'm going to go home for the day and have some supper. And tomorrow morning I'll come back and start tacking on some braces and getting the dash out, and then I can cut the front of it off and Buddy can come get it. Well, get the motor and the drive line and everything, and we'll just brace this up, strap it, take the backhoe and just boop, lift the body and move the body out of the way, and I'll build a cart for it so I can work on it, and then get back on the Chrysler so I can start cutting the Chrysler down and getting this body onto the Chrysler chassis, at least kind of knowing where I want to be.